What's up? This is Loki of Literati. Thought I'd test the acoustics of the park, see what sparks coming in here. For a change, I'm not doing this chapter way after dark. It's nice and light right now. I've got to soon get back on with my bike and get on with my work, but thought, okay, well, I'll just take a minute and see what I can drop quick with Paula tricks, lips so tight like your mom's Kegel-assisted grip. Just vice-like. Ripping it quick. All right. So past a rain of quips, what else do I got to say about shit? I wanted to clarify what I was dropping last night real tight about Sheriff Clark setting off sparks, trying to... I guess I just got to the bottom line way too fast, but it's all an escalation path that's being taken when the nation is polarized. That's just the really most obvious distraction action awakening. You know, like when agent saboteurs, hired saboteurs, end up escalating riots in Boston and other such places out of demonstrations just to make sure that what's taking place is something tragic and horrible so that the police will immediately have to go to militarized reaction, and then, well, there's the end of all fucking civil service action. That's the end of fucking picketing and lobbying and demonstrating in that area because a law gets passed from that. I mean, you can fact check this shit. Agent saboteurs hired by the CIA, that's real shit. And if you just look at the very tactic of stirring up the masses to get them polarized, look at both sides instead of looking at what's really going on. I mean, we're all one from the dusk till the dawn, but to try to get us all riled up about what lesbians getting married or serving or transgender rights. It's the same shit that's been going on day and night since the beginning. Humanity has always been a very individual kind of adaptation for the mass whole to be winning. That's the whole problem with trying to keep your roots the same as your moral station. You have to change the frequency with every new thing that's taking place. I mean, technology has its own cultural invasion, as it were, which causes, obviously, new freedoms, but also new threats. I mean, look at what happened with the snipers who got fucking bombed out of that building for shooting cops. There's only a million cases of fucking psycho, death metal listening, acid taking white boys in suburbia pulling guns on cops and getting negotiated down. The cops didn't waste anything. They were testing out new ground, holding precedent, saying, okay, if we blow this person up, then we can make sure that we just totally disrupt the rising tide of the zeitgeist. People end up not really wanting to fight back, but past that, you also move the goalposts back so that within 2 years, someone's going to get motherfucking drone striked. And it's already on the books that it's possible for any president to do that after Obama made it so. I mean, I like a lot of what he did, but he also set a track that anyone else could also abuse. So whenever certain fucking media clowns such as Sheriff Clark end up setting their sparks the same way Trump does, immediately I just look at the whole malarkey of distraction and say, that's supposed to stir the pot. It's supposed to make the fire hot. It's supposed to set it all off. And with his vigilance and vigor and logical fallacies spitting, he's just a bigger, more obvious puppet than anything Madison Avenue ever came up with, dude. It's like he doesn't even have a clue. He's just so bought into the very fame of his unending reign of being professionally offended. I mean, it's like the same kind of lame change the game shit that's going on in comedy today with people thinking that you can just fucking censor what somebody says on stage or writes on the page or what somebody says funny, because ultimately that's somebody in the audience being threatened by something they can't reckon and collection themselves. Okay, so what? The fucking comic made some kind of social inspection that you didn't like. You were offended because he made fun of your type of person. Okay, well, that's just some bullshit he was blurting. Everyone has a sense of humor, except those who are professionally offended and have to go off and fucking blog about it and say, okay, well, this whole thing needs to be upended, shake the snow globe, because, oh no, that show has to stop because I'm a fucking chode. I'm gonna be the heckler who's afraid of popping shit off at the mouth at a show because I know I'll just be fucking put in my place and get played. That's the way it goes. every single fucking way. There's not been a time when a heckler's taken on a stand-up and won. It's just, and so they declared a social crime, and so we had to change the very social paradigm of comedy. But ultimately, that's the same kind of, I'm personally threatened because I don't have the creative control over my own emotions or my entertainment, as the stupid ass fucking fanboys who bitch about official canon anytime something in their creative universe changes in the movies. Oh, that wasn't just like it was in the comics. That bothers me. They changed this about this character. They changed that about the plot. Like so and so's motivated. Like, and to be real about it, okay. But before I even dive into fanboy geekdom, before I rip into these fucking nerds, let me make it clear that I was slinging indiscreet speech, and I was the king of geeks long before fucking geek was chic.